Hey everybody, it's Bust, continuing our playthrough of the Lab of Legends. Today we are on hard mode Taliyah. I think this is my fourth attempt at hard mode Taliyah, and let's see what happens here. This is a stressful one. It's just I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of this card pool. But nonetheless, getting a mana flow is a great start. This deck tends to have a lot of mana problems, and so mana flow is always great to pick up. These other ones are nowhere near as strong. So yeah, at least, in my opinion, the big problems with this Taliyah card pool is Taliyah is not a good champion. Um, the combination of trying to use Salt Spires with Taliyah just isn't a good strategy, and so it's just like so awkward. You have these hands to where you're trying to like copy Salt Spires, but you can't do anything on the fourth turn because it doesn't affect the board, and then the fifth turn you're just adding a shitty unit just on the sixth turn to have you pick up the cheaper version of that unit. It's like I'd rather just be playing Bull Elnick. Like, let's be real, Bull Elnick is a better card than Salt Spire, and so it's a little awkward. But I promise you, I'll try to keep the salt to a minimum. Trying to see what we can do here. I think it's okay to pick up these Salt Spires. We have to start getting like something on the board. But this could be okay. Since we have this extra mana crystal, we should just be taking like a couple rounds of damage, and then can get the Salt Spires on the board and hopefully take control of this for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this ultimately showcases like the big problem I have with these. Like, I'm taking this route here that should maybe just have us take like 3 or 4 damage next turn, but it's like, okay, we just spent the entirety of our fourth turn playing a card that doesn't do anything, and then now we're just going to play a bad champion to copy a card that didn't do anything, and then the payoff is supposed to be we got an additional Bull Elnick. Like, it's not good. But we can stop 2 of these, so we'll just take 4. As long as he doesn't have a Brood Awakening, we should be pretty okay now. With the double Spire, we can Rockhopper into Salt Spire, Rockhopper into Naturalist, although I don't think we're ever going to get to keep the landmark. So we'll try it. Maybe he does something weird, but yeah, he eats the vulnerable, so we'll just end up playing Salt Spire here. Let's do this. Let's keep the Rockhopper behind just in case he finds a just in case he finds. Oh, hang on. We have to worry about Vile Feast. No, probably not. We have the card in our. We have the Shapestone in our hand. So let's get these going. I'm fine to trade this off. I want to keep Rockhopper in case he starts adding like Arachnid Horrors to the board and we have a trade. Okay, we were just losing Taliyah anyways. It's fine. This seems okay-ish. Brood Awakening was the big card I was worried about, and he didn't drop it, so let's see what we can do. Double up the Salt Spire again. Never feels like enough against this deck. We'll try. We'll try.
They are my people, and I am theirs. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the ground.
Okay. So let's see. Gonna really get to protect one unit.
If only you were made of rock.
Use this. It's fine.
These
The
rocks
Rock
should
Bear.
fit perfectly.
Okay. Could have been worse. Now we can get one of these naturalists on the board for an additional Rock Bear. Don't think we'll be able to close it out this turn. Just have to see.
Well, look who decided to join us. You are welcome.
I think you gotta watch yourself with these. So if he has a Vile Feast, Vile Feast can take off the landmark before we can hit it with the Teen Spirit. So it can be a touch awkward. Not the case here. Alright, and that should end it. Okay. To the next one. To do this more often. Probably gonna get to play this Taliyah run like 8 more times before we get through this. We'll definitely be doing this more often. But let's see, what can we take advantage of here? If we want to take a look at this Lux, don't quite have enough spells to get her really going, but it could be okay. We do, of course, have the option to just take Zed and say, I'm not even going to try to play Taliyah. Let's just take the Zed and put a Phage on him and call it a day. No, I won't do that. I don't feel like that's in the spirit of the event. If that's what you want to do to get through the game and finish off the Taliyah, by all means, because this is not a super fun run, but I won't do that for the purposes of these videos. And then here at the end, we have the Starlit Seer with Anivia. Kind of interesting. You can play the Starlit Seer on the first turn. We play reasonably well with avalanches, and that, if we have Salt Spires on the board, we can avalanche and then kind of wait a turn before we get that going. I think this could be okay. I'm just trying to think as like how the rounds play out. The Anivia is not going to be particularly good against like the Scar grounds, but it's okay against everything else, and then particularly good against P and Z. Or Lux, she seems like a little slow. So if we had the like sorcery as our passive power, then I would have snapped the Lux right up. But with the extra mana crystal, I think I'm happier with Anivia. Okay, some early game units. Do we ever just bank this turn to try to get an avalanche going? Now that we do Rock Hopper, no we don't, but it's an optional way to attempt to interact with some Mist Wraith. I'm gonna play the Seer because I don't want to double predict this turn. So get this block here, get the Seer down. Predict once with the preparations, and then we can try to predict again next turn with the Chronomancer. Really want any of these, but we'll go ahead and pick up the Salt Spire. This will just depend on what he does. If he adds units, then we'll consider trying to get the Avalanche going. Well, I shouldn't say if he adds units, I should say if he adds Mist Wraiths. We'll consider the Avalanche, but right now it's not a big deal. Bit of a bigger deal here. Can't block this one. Okay, just give up board. We can trade our Starlit Seer for the Wraith Caller and then start with Anivia next turn. Seems fine.
This would be a good winter. Fly away while you can. Back to our perch.
Okay. Oh, goodness. Ready for nap time.
Endless cold, endless peace.
Alright, we're doing stuff. Say he's kind of done with Mist Wraiths at this point. They usually just play him if they got him.
I don't want to meet whatever woke you up. Don't touch
Okay,
it.
trying to think of the spell. They do play Withering Whales in this deck, and so it kind of sucks if we just get, Anivia down to 1 and he wails down our board. But this is okay. We can still exhaust a unit if he plays it, and this helps us, if he did hit the Withering Whale, helps us play around this a little bit. This should just end the game.
Snow, wind, attack! You're it!
Got him. So much animations.
We should do this more often.
Okay. What do we want to put on Taliyah? Lichbane seems good. I mean, even just playing like 2 spells gets her leveled up quite a bit. Tough and ephemeral are not super good. So, yeah, always happy with the Lichbane. Then I guess, we could take the stone weaving. We're trying to do stuff with landmarks, I guess. It seems better than picking up rando elusive or poros that we don't have access to. So. Alright, so yeah, we took the stone weaving, so we're officially playing landmarks decks now. as far as the Taliyah build around goes, we are 100% all in. Because we picked up a stone weaving. Feels good. But again, let's look for some cheap plays. I do like to be aggressive on his early game plays here. Rockhopper is not the ideal thing to be slamming into a hapless aristocrat, but willing to do it. Okay.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
The chains, they never stop. Just leave me alone.
Perfect. Don't get your extra mana. No vaults mana for you.
buys me a new sail.
No plays? Interesting. Let's take the Salt Spire. We can get this Taliyah kind of thing going. Let's give him the opportunity to play something to run into Roiling Sands.
What a shame for you.
Interesting choice. Works for me. All right, I think we're looking pretty good against the Thresh here. I don't like calling my shot ever with Taliyah, because this deck just falls flat so often. But okay, I think I'll call it now. I think we got this game.
You cheated! I want a rematch!
Don't touch it.
We do want to get this off of the board, so he doesn't get to use the vaults into another unit. And I think we're good now. Do anything? I was going to say we can Unraveled Earth in the middle of combat to Lichbane Taliyah up 1, and then also, I guess we should have just done it beforehand, so she'd get her flip attack things, whatever those are called. All right. So when it comes to Taliyah, I'm actually pretty okay with picking up Empty Mind. But the place where we tend to run into problems is like her late game is abysmally bad. There's no really good late game cards, and Shurima run into these weird spots to where you've got like Taliyah, no landmark, or it's like a Salt Spire late. And so just being able to flood the board is pretty good. I'm actually really happy with Empty Mind here. So that's good. Here's a weird set. I think though, well, this is kind of interesting in two things. This is the first time I've ever seen a countdown card in Lab of Legends. Like, so this is like, I've been playing this quite a bit since the new set came out, the Defenders of the Ancient, and I've also played this quite a bit because I keep fucking losing with Taliyah. And so, interesting seeing the countdown card show up. Doesn't make me want it. This card's not any good, but interesting to see it. So, so now that we picked up the card draw passive, I don't think we ever want War Mother's Call. Kind of leaning towards taking this Cataclysm just as a way to have an interactive card. But yeah, it's much stronger than Imagined Possibilities, and so I think this is okay. But, I mean, if we are going to build ourselves to this just like, let's spew everything out of our hand, then I think Imagined Possibilities could be good. Let's do it. Let's play on theme. All right. I could see that working, right? If we just like spew out a whole bunch of landmarks, try to just play a bunch of Imagined Possibilities, empty out our hand, and draw more cards. It's a strategy. If it's a good one, that's debatable. But it's definitely a strategy, which is better than not having a strategy. Okay. Oh my goodness! Can't quit yawning. I don't think we want any of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip over this. Just looking for cheap plays here.
I turn it like so.
He usually plays Omen Hawk. Nice, perfect draw.
A chill in the air.
If it's made of sand, I can write.
Which one now? Take the imagined possibilities. Seems horrible. Seems horrible. Let's skip over that one. We'll just play our 2 units next turn. We won't.
Gotcha.
Okay. The
Too slow, stupid. Gonna
decent
catch the
chance that
sky.
he has an elixir of iron to get through this, but I think it's okay. Oh, nice. We just got the 3-3. Perfect.
It was right on my tail.
I will weave my own path.
Look out
All right, we're doing it.
Excuse me.
Right. Yeah, much strength. We want to play our landmark first so that we can get this Taliyah attack in. Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Last to natural May buys me a new
Together, we are stronger than stone, faster than the wind.
Really making the magic happen here now.
You fell for it.
Woohoo!
The we're-falling, throw another rock.
Oh, we should have added our Salt Spire so we get an additional Taliyah, Taliyah rockets. Is that what we're going to call these? But nice take heart from opponent, just actual do nothing. I guess it puts some more damage on our rock bear, but
Oh, the little snores.
okay.
Who goes there?
Unfortunately, he's putting a lasting chunk of damage on us before the game's over, but I think we should be
We can
okay.
always rely on you to keep us safe.
That stone weaving on top, and then we'll just hook down the Wow Claw for what should be the lethal.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Perfect.
Throw another rock.
Got him. Nice. Okay, on to the Scar Grounds. The lands of not playing in Nivea is what they call the Scar Grounds. Okay. Got all these rerolls. Got to use them at some point in time, but this is a pretty interesting sand spinner coming out with barriers. Kind of like a little mini Jarvan. Could see that being good, but I'm mainly just interested in picking up cheap stuff. I don't really want to be adding 4-drops to our deck. So let's reroll this one. I guess that one was pretty good, but what do you think about draw 6 cards progress day? just give up on our passive power and just say we're going to progress day our way through it. That's so medium. Okay, well, I can see making the Voice of Risen work. This fixes a lot of our problems in making our early game plays good. And it's not that hard to flip Taliyah here, so I think she's going to be fine. Okay, and then the second one, adding health potions to our exhausts feels pretty good. I do like having access to like 1 health potion, or I'd rather have health potion on a cheap spell than have the immortality passive. So I think that's fine. A nice little interactive element here. Okay, so we can keep the Starlit Seer, look for our other cheap plays.
Peer beyond.
In the War Mother's name.
Got some time. No need to just rush out into the Unscarred Reaver.
Fight or die.
I don't want to meet whatever woke you up. It's not safe.
Perfect. Okay, then getting the Seers going seems a little bit better than trying to get the Salt Spire going. I have a very strong exhaust here now.
This will be a good winter.
That's good. I kind of want to go ahead and imagine possibilities. Just give our top unit in our deck that +4/+4.
Blessed by snow.
Got a good
and
removal spell.
stars.
Nice. Yeah, this is coming together nicely. We're going to have a gigantic unit on top of our deck.
This will be a good winter. Pin feathers.
The biggest of rock hoppers.
Buys me a new sail.
I came to
Too slow, stupid.
Get out of here, Tarkaz. No thank you today.
no more smash.
Alright, we're making some of this happen. Not, you know, real amped about this Anivia, but we can at least play her and then hopefully draw some more cards after the fact.
My first scar.
A storm approaches.
Let's not ruffle our
We should probably just be done with Starlit Seer here. Oh man, you gonna have the elixir? Okay. The big old boy. Okay. So let's get in while the getting's good. Well, we can realistically probably get a pretty good rock hopper
And
here.
the wind's behind me.
We'll take what
You got caught.
I believe. So we just picked up Anivia. I believe she flips into Harsh Winds. It's been a while since we played Anivia.
Come on, there's so much to see.
I knew it. I've learned a thing or two in my day. Preemptive Elixir of Iron.
I learned my scars.
Still just want to pop it.
Gonna catch the sky.
Taliyah. Okay, Taliyah still works against the Reaver as well.
Throw another rock.
She hits it once and then he becomes tough and then they start doing less damage, but still enough to take it down.
just another winter. Voices howl.
Okay, I think we're good. We got this one.
Snow buries all.
Don't have Overwhelm, so you don't
I
matter.
will run you
This
over.
one in here as well. Perfect. I guess if we really wanted to draw our cards, we needed to play the Harsh Winds there. But
I'll drag you out of there if I have to. One day they're going
crossed by
to get
two
you back,
enemies, yeah, so we
Al.
can't play our Harsh Winds. That's okay. We wouldn't have had access to much mana.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Eternal winter. Even steel sings
See,
its
we
story.
may find ourselves wanting to
Wind
avalanche this board anyways. We'd only lose our one unit, but not the case. We just got the lethal. Perfect. Alright, Sejuani, here we come. Been rolling. This Taliyah run's rolling now. Not as expected, but it's always it's so hard to get positive about these. But an interesting set here. I don't feel like we really need Siphoning Strikes, but it would be our only like direct removal spell. We have the cards like Exhaust, but we don't have any way to just strike down a unit. We have guys that are big enough. We could use Salt Spires to do this. This feels pretty weak. I'm actually just going to take the Vision here. We're pretty good at like getting wide and then being able to play this for 1 mana with our cycling type landmark or passive, whatever it's called. Makes that seem pretty good. Could pick up more Exhausts, but that feels kind of sketchy. Alright, I'm going to reroll this one. What you got for us, game? Barriered Starlit Seers? That seems okay. It's not great, but I am happy to put more Starlit Seers into our deck. Game on. Where are we at? Something like this. I could see hanging on to Stone Weaving. Just got all these Starlit Seers. We can play kind of early. Let's play the Seer. He tends to lead with Omen Hawk. Oh, I can't afford any zero-cost landmarks.
Would you look at this
But this
place?
should give us the option to Rockfall Path now, which is pretty strong. Okay. Rockfall Path. Could take Preservarium, but I think with the way that we're managing his board here, I'm a little bit happier to take down whatever unit he has on the board. That didn't work out quite how I wanted. He's just going to kill an Omen Hawk now because he's not going to attack with it. We didn't exhaust down the Omen Hawk. It'll be fine.
Blood on the snow.
Move! Oh dear!
Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the ground.
We're up to 4, 1 away from the flip.
Varg will have the first
This is fine.
Blessed by snow and stars. Oh, vermin.
Can Elixir of Iron out of a bit of this, but this board looks pretty good if he just doesn't have any cards, and then we are going to be picking up the 2 Salt Spires next turn. Perfect, perfect. Looking good. Can like Sejuani down our Taliyah, but that's kind of whatever at this point.
Bow to no one.
So he chooses to take not Taliyah.
A storm approaches.
Bristle, we're going bird hunting.
Want to just go for a big one? I don't think so. I think we want to work our way down to like 2 mana. Deep, nowhere near it. Preservarium it is. Not super ideal given the landmarks we have, but these other cards are pretty bad.
This will be a good winter.
See if we can't find an exhaust.
My journey won't end
But
until
I mean, we
I'm
might just have
through
enough
weaving.
board to close this out. Doing a lot of passing over here.
We go where the War Mother be.
Oh, the little snores.
Okay. Countdown. Could see that being okay. Just get both of our things next turn.
An auspicious season.
Would be better than picking up the Rockfall Path. Strong. We're strong.
Bristle, attack!
Yeah, that's fine. Gonna have a flash freeze or something. Fury of the North. Could still make our way through this.
Even sand has its uses. Some rocks just won't sit still.
Okay, so the way that this works is if we play Rockhopper first, then we'll draw the card, then predict. So I want to get the predict in before we draw a card. Let's just go ahead and take Taliyah, Rockhopper,
Watch out! Oh my goodness, Samir!
Stoneweave. Just want the Grand Plaza. Now let's take Inner Sanctum. Get the payday for Taliyah next turn.
This will be a good winter.
Pretty sure this one's just done now, but all right, we got that power going through here. Look at these paydays with Lichbane. It's not that bad.
Throw another rock.
To attack.
Tag, you're in.
Get you an exhaust and gain some health.
An auspicious season.
Watch out for quicksand.
See if we can't draw any more exhausts while we're at it. Just gain a few points of health. Oh, well, we're in the last battle. It doesn't matter anyways. Look at this Taliyah.
Watch me.
That's all we need. We're gonna do it like this. That's all we need, right?
Another rock.
Big girl.
My board.
All right. I like it. I like what we're working with here.
Until our paths cross.
Strange having fun with the Taliyah deck. I mean, I don't. after so many iterations of things I didn't enjoy, this is kind of nice. But okay, interesting set. And so Yip's Genius is okay-ish in our deck. It only works with Ancient Preparation. It's not going to be that great. The created cards costing one less should be good though. Between the Stone Weavings and the Imagined Possibilities, and then the flipped Taliyahs making Stone Weavings, I think we can do something with this. It's not spectacular, but it's a reasonable start. Taliyah. Of these, we're out of rerolls. It's a little bit safer to just pick Challenger on her. I'd rather be able to kind of like pick and choose the combat she's getting in as opposed to just letting our opponent dictate if the quick attack's going to be good enough. Right, got a mulligan down to some cheaper stuff. You really got to get out here and get rolling against the Foundry and putting things on the board. Blanche could be big. We ever just pass this turn to try to avalanche next turn? That seems a little greedy. But at least I'd give him a chance to try and like completely fill up his board.
I don't want to meet whatever woke you up.
And if it helps,
I turn it like so.
I didn't do nothing. Ow!
Won't find better this side of the sun.
Okay.
No refunds.
Hoping for more units than this, but
Vermin.
actually do this.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Gonna take the trade over here. This just forces his unit into combat and gets us to spend a card. That's kind of whatever. We could do like this and then try to block next turn. Maybe this is the way that we take the least damage.
Boom.
Interesting. It's odd seeing them not play off very many cards.
Let the show begin.
Safe enough with Taliyah here. We can put the Starlit Seer in front of Kempunk Shredder, and then we just aren't taking very much damage. Nice.
Something ancient stirs. Snow, wind, and ice.
Do something like this. Don't care what takes down the egg. Clear out these smaller units. And if he is not the one with Challenger, huh? stop and rethink that. I don't quite like it as much as I initially thought I did. Let's hit with the rock bears and try to clean out these big units.
Get off my stage!
Okay. That's one way to keep your Sump Dredger from dying. Okay. This is where Avalanche is starting to look good. Copying a 2-5. Okay. Uh-oh. Going straight to the face with the mystic shots, huh?
These rocks should fit perfectly.
Taliyah only has 2 ticks on her. That's fine. She's starting to level up.
Buys me a new sail.
You're welcome for the shin blades.
Nice. Alright, well, let's get this Lichbane Taliyah going. I don't care what units he plays, so I want to start by naturalisting away our Roiling Sands. He can get out of this. He can play like a jury rig to pop the landmark, but felt reasonably safe. So let's start with Seer and a Vision as well. We'll protect Taliyah because of the Lichbane. We're gonna lose our Nivea for a bit. It's okay.
We rise anew.
You'll be back before you know it, girl. Oh, we can't stone weaving because all of our cards are expensive. Okay, flip her this way. I don't think exhaust is that important, but we have like all the late game we could ever want with these stone weavings, and I just want to gain the health.
Turn the stones.
Oh, it didn't flip you? Ugh.
Yeah.
Fine. Fine game.
I got the goods.
I think we're still in a commanding position here, but a little sloppy. Karina? Ugh. Is that deck him? And take him to 2 cards. So this will be his last attack. Let's do whatever we can to not die here. So Rock Bear.
Where to go? Where to go?
Let's keep stone weaving.
An auspicious season.
Whatever we can do to protect our Taliyah. Sanctum's the only one of these that'll ever be relevant.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Out of these, I guess we'll take more Inner Sanctums.
This would be a good winter.
And he hits 0 spells. Wah wah.
A weapon heavy with history.
Gonna keep passing?
They are my
Okay.
people, and I
That's your
am
plan, that's your plan.
We know their stories. Now it's time for yours.
Okay, so Nivea comes back, we got our Taliyah flipped.
New era
We're gonna get a couple of paydays, so maybe we'll hit a lifesteal or something. But this game should be done. I do want to gain our health up. Let's see what we can do here. Already has Challenger, Jared +2 health.
throw another rock.
Well, perfect.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
exhaust. Or let's exhaust here.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Let's play out a bunch of stuff. Not an exciting portion of the game, but level up Taliyah a bit. I don't think it matters, right? His deck is empty. We can just pass. We got ourselves up to 30. Still doing this. How close is this? We're gonna lethal him? Maybe we should do this to avoid puff cap damage, right? Gotta come up with an excuse. Alright, whatever.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Who dares approach me?
Okay.
Listen.
Hello, fellow Kimberly.
Okay, there was some meaningless gameplay. I hope you all enjoyed watching the animations and stuff. Now, the turn will start and they'll just be decked.
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform.
We did it.
The cycle is complete.
Okay, so what can we do here? We can upgrade our Taliyah or add in more Starlit Seers. I think I just want the more Starlit Seers here. We've already got quite a few Taliyahs. You're getting good combos with these, like Exhaust, Imagine Possibilities, Vision, Stone Weavings. Like all of these cheap spells are going to play reasonably well with the Starlit Seer. It's good. Right, off we go. See the land where Avalanche can be strong. Not a horrible start. Kind of tempted to just trade out Chronomancer, but ooh, the Avalanche. What the hell? My mouse quit? Alright, something happened. Alright, we're back in action. Let's get this Starlit Seer going.
I brought my books. Hope that's all right.
Nothing, my man. Fine.
I'm on it. If it's made of sand, I can write it.
Beams it. Alright, we can't play around that.
My board! Excuse me?
Get a Fury, and we can also now Naturalist our Roiling Sands. It's pretty strong. We're looking as good as one could. Oh shit, no, I forgot his unit was going to come out. I'm going to say, I think we're looking about as good as we can. So let's hang on to the Naturalist. Let's see if we can't Stone Weave into one of the good twos. It's like we have such good AoEs. It's like I'd almost want to see if we couldn't line up hitting a big Rockfall path once he starts playing the big boys. Or we could just let this go and try to Naturalist one of these later. Kind of like this. I don't want to.
This will be a good winter.
Let's do this. I think I've got this lined up. We can let that sit. Let's add Rockfall path. I'm gonna pass. Then as long as he doesn't open on us, we can get a good Avalanche next turn. Because there's also technically, he's going to open on us because his board's full now, isn't he? What?
An auspicious season.
Oh, we should have just let this die. I neglected to think that we were just gonna blast this with an Avalanche. We sequenced this so poorly. At least we'll get the Crush Bot with the Rockfall path. It's not horrible. We definitely could have done this better. We got something cool. Not really. This will work.
This will be a good winter.
History is whatever.
An auspicious season.
Think I see
Right.
something.
The Naturalist is our worst unit. I guess the Starlet Seer has Fury, but probably safer. Sure. So this is like ultimately where I have a lot of struggle with Taliyah decks, is this specific matchup to where we start getting even with our opponent, but then we can't actually close out the game because they're playing like the 8/8s and we don't have enough cards. So we do have Empty Mind, so that is hopefully my answer to
Look at this place.
us not having enough cards here, since we never run out of cards. Like, this is ultimately what I
This will be a good
kind of planned on it as being
blessed by snow and
the real strength of this deck. Okay, I was gonna stop playing spells there anyways. We drew Taliyah, so kind of shuts things down. But
This will be a good
Okay.
winter.
Rockfall Path, copy this with Taliyah.
My journey won't end until I'm through weaving it.
That's gonna hit the weakest ones. We don't have great answers to these small ones, but maybe we can convince our opponent to block. Can't play any more spells to get her leveled up. It kind of sucks. Let's do this.
Like threading a needle.
Well, we have the landmark, so she's gonna get the 3. We can take down his big boy. Maybe we...
Size see all.
I wish I remembered how the sequencing worked. He's gonna go get... Oh, these Rockfall Paths don't hit for 2 more turns, so... Okay.
Watch me.
Alright, I'm on board with this.
Sit still.
Just blows up everything. Perfect.
Land to our perch.
Okay.
How can I help? Brace yourselves. They're grumpy when they wake.
Burst out that vision. Give us a
Throw
new
another
card.
rock.
Not super exciting.
Tag, you're it.
Alright, we're getting all the spells. It's all going. Have Assault Spire. You gonna pick up Targon's Peak? I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna be our play. Ancient Preparations is the cheap one.
Throw another rock.
Wonder if opponent ever attacks here. Taliyah back on top for another Ancient Preparations. Interesting.
I will run you over.
If only you were made of rock.
I mean, we're only gonna take down one of these next turn. I guess we ought to prevent the damage. Like, if we're planning on blocking with Rockhopper. Maybe we don't. Like, how much is this open? We can hit for... Not gonna get any landmarks. 7 plus 9, 16. 16 plus 6 would be 22. We're gonna be short of lethal. Well, he's gonna get turrets at the beginning of the turn anyways. So we should take this down. Maybe his T-Hex will come online before our Rockfall Path hits. Don't exactly know how that works.
Oh, the little snores.
Got them both. Nice.
Who goes there?
The Flash. I was like, I was glad we picked up this Taliyah as like just in case means, but let's see if we get more Rockfall Paths. Okay. Playing all the spells.
Ted, you're it.
Be deep? We'll get deep.
Throw another rock.
Rockfall Path. You can overwrite this Ancient Preparations. Are you gonna deck yourself? That's your second progress day. He's got 3 cards left.
I've read all about this.
Oh, we just gotta play the waiting game with this one.
Charged up and ready to go.
Here beyond.
Don't really want any of these. We'll take the start tip to peak since we hit deep and we can't play anything else.
Ted, you're it.
Get our combat in.
By snow and stars.
Taliyah doesn't take damage here. These others die to our barriers. Okay,
Throw another rock.
Now I've lost my
I think
place.
we're okay in this one. This empty hand thing has been quite nice.
An auspicious season.
Is that rock bear? Give us that sea monster. We got all the big boys now. Sort of big boys. Sea scarab's big enough, I guess. Then I'm just gonna start overriding this Rockfall Path. I don't think it's gonna be a critically relevant card. Nivea even really matter anymore?
And they said I was dangerous. Testing.
Okay, so we could get Taliyah in front of... What the hell? What's going on? Why can't Taliyah block? There it goes. I don't understand what the deal with that was. But we can do this. Probably put the rock bear here. Put a good block here. It's okay. Well, we can't avalanche if that's going to be our end game for the turn. So if we want to protect Taliyah, we need to leave her behind.
While you can.
So if we're going to do that, let's protect our Starlit Seer over here.
Feathers.
Okay. 2 cards left. Really need a way to get him to draw a card.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Righty.
A new era begins.
This Taliyah really needs Overwhelm. that's like the big problem here is we don't have a way to punch her for 15 attack in.
Watch out for quicksand. Throw another rock.
Could see Arena, but we'll probably just mistakenly kill our Taliyah if we play the Arena. Let's be real.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Okay, then intend on just playing the second preparation, so this one doesn't really matter.
Who wants a
The desert likes you.
More Taliyahs. Okay. Yeah, probably got to get some kind of unit on the board. Can't let him get wider than us. Poison for Risen. Just something cheap. Sounds like the Rock Bear. Don't think we'll actually play the Rock Bear here.
Ted, you're it.
And we still have some good Anivia attacks and such, so. Oh, oh. Had you?
A weapon heavy with history.
Let's see. It doesn't seem like super worth attacking with anything except these two. We can put you in front of Taliyah, so this will take 2 from Anivia, 6 from Taliyah, kill this. Anivia will kill these two in the back. So we could bring a hook on the Voltician to make sure we get to take it down. That's where we're at. Lose our Anivia, but she's egged. Okay.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
What did he do? How did we just win that? Did he play Progress Day? I thought I saw like a Progress Day flash on the screen. Did he play Progress Day and just kill himself? Okay. Alright, opponent. That's one way to go about it. Okay, then what do we want here? It is interesting getting these zero-cost exhausts, just given the way our deck is positioned to try and cycle through everything. I think I'm on board with that. We could make Voice of the Risen cheaper, but I like the idea of the zero-cost exhaust. It's our way to interact with whatever Victor's doing. Works great with our Lichbane Taliyah. I'm on board. As bad as things can go with Taliyah, I feel like we're at least a 33% chance to win this one. Not with hands like this. We certainly need some cheaper plays here. Cheaper units, I should say. The zero cost exhaust is technically as cheap as the plays get. I don't think we went to stone weaving. We'd just be getting like frozen thralls, ancient preparations. Romancer's okay.
What can I say? I'm an adaptable guy. Yeah, I'm ready.
You got for us. We can't completely empty our hand because we have this Taliyah. Leaning towards this imagined possibilities just as a... Oh, we should probably take the exhaust.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
We have to do this like exhaust shaped stone kind of play if we want to take advantage of it, but yeah, it's okay. Well, the spiral stairs is certainly a way to give our Taliyah overwhelm. Can we survive that long? Yeah, probably. We'll take the stairs now. We're gonna play Taliyah next turn. Good, and let's see if he plays ballistic bot. That's probably worth taking down.
See what I've learned?
Maybe this is like too greedy since he does have Victor in his hand and that's gonna be his play next turn, but we should be able to answer this with Taliyah, right? She has Challenger Lichbane. I think she can handle a Victor.
Join the glorious evolution.
I did, and zero regrets.
Analyzing approach.
Just prevent as much damage as we can. Victor picked up Overwhelm, so we need to block down
It's
on
not
these.
safe.
Whew, okay, had to sneeze. So let's see what shows up here. Vision does let us take down Victor. Do we want to do it before he gets the spell though? Gonna go to 5 attack. That's okay. We can give the bonus to Voice of the Risen. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more value out of this.
My exquisite creation.
All right, let's let the card play and begin. The ballistic bot avalanche is the end of days as far as our spells for the turn are concerned. Put the damage on Voice of the Risen. He's never getting to block here, right? We could technically block with Taliyah against some of this stuff. The 2 damage does prevent does take it down from avalanche, but these things do give it +3/+2.
Relax your knees.
Speak as one.
Okay, this will take Taliyah to 5. She's just gonna spike up so much health. I think this is probably okay.
What can I say? I'm an adaptable guy.
Okay, he hasn't flipped his champion yet. That's a little scary.
Lastinat Rame buys me a new sail.
You're welcome for the shin blades. Excuse me.
I will run you over.
10? Is that too greedy? I mean, just don't need this voice of the risen. Alright, let's take it. Taliyah survives. To play the 2 spells followed by avalanche. Taliyah will survive them. Okay.
Oh dear.
Gonna start looking at this and being like, oh man, can we lethal next turn? Now that we have all this overwhelm damage. Alright, exhaust. You're gonna be the combo breaker, aren't you? Not willing to just... We're just losing 1 mana, so it's not that big of a deal. They're not great. Just, it's like, I think if we take the tomb, we could maybe make him block it, but with the Grand Plaza, if we pick up even like any of our 2-cost units that took armed gearhead, it's a pretty big game.
They are my people, and I am theirs.
We've seen greatness. Now we will achieve it.
Looks like you're stuck.
Definitely want to hook the big one. Gain a bit of health while we're at it. I'm just gonna take the Sun Disc. It's a free skip. I don't want any of those Scar Grounds or a Grand Plaza. Since we have the created cards cost 1 less, we can just play it for 0.
Some rocks just won't sit still.
Here's Starlit Seer. This gives us another, a perfect hook onto his gearhead now. Good, looking good.
I will tell them what we've seen today.
Taliyah. I think we want to continue to do the same thing. The Veiled Tempo just giving us 2 mana doesn't feel worth it. Stop and make sure I'm not going to deck myself.
Tag, you're it.
Play the free one. The Chronomancer there. Pick up the Chronomancer. And where are we going to be at? We're going to be at 3 regular mana. Okay, so let's take the Starlit. Oh, we're just going to shuffle this out. There we go. I got to remember that. We do draw the card. We could put Anivia on top. She can close this game out. So, let's see what kind of thunder we can bring here now. I certainly want to take down his elusive with Taliyah. This is going to be his kind of way to ever possibly win this game. Oh man, I really
Relax your knees.
go here. Take out the next biggest one. Voice of Reason takes out the one that survives. Now, we do need to stop and see if this is close to lethal. We're a little bit short, so we can't like rearrange these to get a kill. But I think we've got this game won. Looking pretty good here. Okay. This big 19 bomb coming through. Can't 13 us, can you? Here comes the Nyandroids.
Beg me with the metal hand. Plug and play.
Fly away while you can.
Great. Works good enough.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Let's have an open kill next turn.
A storm approaches. The Freljord's eternal guardian.
All right. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna ace the hard mode Taliyah.
Like
Get
threading
there.
a needle.
Do that. Neg 25.
Throw another
I
rope.
think that's gonna do it. Okay. It's a neg 22. And we got it. There you have it. There's a nice KO on that hard mode Taliyah. So not that bad. I think it took me 4 tries. So we'll see if it takes double the amount on the next level. So yeah, interesting little deck. I initially didn't quite notice how good it was going to be having the created cards cost 1 less. I knew that we could do Taliyah with the created cards cost 1 less, and then generate the what's it called, her flip, and then having her flip generate more created cards. And so it took me a little bit too long to realize that with this empty mind drawing all the cards when our hand is empty, and then being able to stone weaving into a 1-cost card just to cycle out everything is a pretty powerful little thing. It took me a while to really get wind of all the synergies that were going here. This is kind of like one of these things to where, like, I don't know, I've put like 200 hours into Slay the Spire, and it's like you understand like a lot of these interactions just kind of instinctively, but here it takes me kind of a hot minute to pick up on them. And so it was nice. But yeah, I mean, it started off good. We always like to have mana flow or sorcery, just being able to cheat, and then ultimately, like when we got into the turret round, that's kind of like my bane of Taliyah, because she tends to just like run out of gas so hard. And so the empty mind was actually like really strong here. I was really glad we got to build around that, because like I had in the back of my mind, like I saw it was getting to that point to where like we've really stabilized on board. It's like our board is better than our opponents, and we have like 1 card, but they're to that point to where they're just generating the 8/8 every turn, and it's like, oh no, he is actually just going to win this game. But the empty mind definitely let us draw out of that. So yeah, I was happy with how we pieced this together, really focusing on just emptying out our hand, cheapening up our exhausts and our visions. This turned out to be a pretty cool deck, and it worked pretty good. And so, yeah, hope this one helps you all in your trials of Taliyah. I think you learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.